Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's been a while since I've been able to upload, and for those of you who maybe didn't catch my post here on YouTube and don't follow me on Instagram, I've had just a family emergency come up that halted everything in my business. So you can go to my Instagram where I talk more about it. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of dive into this video and thank you guys for your patience. It seems like every time I get momentum with YouTube or even with my reselling business, something just happens, and you know what, that's life. And more than anything really, I was just incredibly grateful that I do run my own business. So I didn't have to ask a boss for permission. I could take the time off that I needed to take care of things here at home and with my family. And now that I've had a little bit of time to process things, I am ready to jump right back into YouTube and kind of move forward with my business because it's important to me and it is what makes me happy. So thanks again for being patient, and I am back with another What Sold video. I know you guys like that, so I thought I'd just start off with a bang and do another What Sold video. Sales actually up until the point where I took my break were some of the best sales they've ever been. Like 2 straight weeks of $2,000 back to back. So I had $4,000 in sales, actually a little over $4,000 in sales in 2 weeks in the first couple of weeks in October. And then I intentionally stepped back, and that's when things slowed down. But during that time, it was really crazy, really busy. I was really excited. So I wanted to share some of the highlights of things that sold during that 2-week window. And please keep in mind 2 things that I get asked all the time. One is people look in my sold listings in my eBay store and don't see a whole lot, and so they think I am a fraud, which I promise I'm not. What I do is I use multi-quantity listings, and for me, I just feel like it's favorable with the algorithm. I don't know if that's proven, but I really like using multi-quantity listings for my listings on eBay. It's just a lot easier if I get a return and I can just fix the quantity so that it is back from 0 to 1 again. So it's a little bit easier to relist items if a customer doesn't pay or cancels or I get it returned. Because when you list something on eBay and you have your product page, it's getting traffic, it's getting watchers, and when someone buys it, that ends. And the only way to get that back is to relist the item. You lose all of that previous information, the watchers and the views and everything else. So I kind of like with multi-quantity that I can just set the quantity back to 1 and then it can sell again, and it's just a little bit easier. So that's kind of why I do it. I'm not saying that it's what you should do, it's just something that I like doing. The issue with that is when you search for solds, they don't show up if you use multi-quantity listings. So you guys can look at my feedback. If that's something that if you want to, I am transparent. I do want to share everything with you guys, and I promise I'm not scamming anyone. It's really sincerely, I do get these sales. This is my store. This is my business. This isn't fake. It's not a scam. But if you want to look at my feedback, that's probably a better estimation of what kind of sales I'm getting. Or you can just believe me here. Promise, I'm not lying to you guys. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's go into some of the things that sold in that 2-week period. These were the first 2 weeks in October. First, I sold this J. Crew tie front blazer. It was really cute. This is from that yard sale that I went to where the woman was selling like all kinds of J. Crew, which I love picking up J. Crew. Not just the standard J. Crew. I do like anything special, anything with an embellishment, anything from a recent season, and luckily this was all from pretty recent seasons and really unique and special. So this tie front blazer was special and unique. It sold for $49 plus $6 shipping, and I paid $5 for it. And by the way, on that $4,000 that I sold, my average net profit after everything is 55 to 60% after fees and shipping and all of that. So to be conservative, you can say I kept 50% of that and took home $2,000 in 2 weeks, which isn't bad considering I do this part-time on a very limited schedule. So this is why I love to do eBay. It's just fits perfectly with my lifestyle as a stay-at-home mom. Okay, moving on. This J. Crew horsing around sweater I picked up at that same yard sale for $5, and it sold for $25 plus $6 shipping. Anything with J. Crew that has an animal print or a graphic or looks unique, I always pick up, and it tends to sell pretty well for me. This Travis Matthew men's polo, I pick up Travis Matthew anytime I see it. It sells pretty well for just like a very standard top. This I picked up for just $1, and it sold for $21 plus $5 shipping. Don't forget, when you are spelling out Travis Matthew. It's Matthew with one T. That's a mistake that I made before. And if you misspell something, it of course won't show up in the search as well. So definitely recommend double checking and not making the same mistake I did with like a previous item. I just put two T's because that's how I always spell Matthew. So don't make my mistake. But yeah, it sold quickly and for around 26 bucks. These Rock Revival jeans I picked up from a yard sale this previous summer. And I did pay $10 for them, but they sold for $42 plus $6 shipping, which I was totally pleased with. Rock Revival just always sells really consistently for me. Maybe not as quickly if it's a smaller size. That's like the one downside. Although size 29 is a good size, but with Rock Revival, if it's men's, it sells faster for me. And if it's a slightly larger size, like in the 30s, then it does sell a little bit better. These jeans don't have a lot of give or stretch. And I think that's why the larger sizes do a little bit better, because they give more room. These aren't a typical like Paige jean, which kind of has stretch to it. They don't have a lot, probably because they're just embellished so much. So just the more you know. I picked up this Harley Davidson studded jean jacket for $10. I did pay up for it a little bit, but it sold for $45 plus $6 shipping. Anything with Harley Davidson tends to sell pretty well when it's like a jacket, jean jacket. The women's Harley Davidson stuff doesn't sell as well for me, honestly, as like the men's. So I kind of knew this wouldn't sell for quite as much, but I still thought it was really cute. The rhinestones and the sequins. And really unique and cool. So I was definitely happy to see this go, and it sold really quickly. So definitely a win. I picked up this beater lack blanket from a garage sale for $2. And beater lack, I just had like in the back of my mind, I think someone else had picked it up or someone had mentioned it. It's like a reversible vintage style blanket. And yeah, it sold for $42 plus $10 shipping. The one downside is it went to New York, which for me in Utah is far away. So it cost me actually $15 to ship, but that's okay. Still left me with enough profit, and I was happy with that sale. It did take a while to sell, probably because it's not the most unique print on this blanket. If it's more rare and more stylized, it probably will sell for a little bit more and a little quicker, but I was happy with this turnaround. This Patagonia fly fishing vest, I've actually sold one just like this, but this was new with tags, which is always a win. I love Patagonia, and I did pick it up for $15, but that's only because I had sold another fly fishing vest for the $60 range, and so I knew that this, with being new with tags, would sell for a little bit more than that. So I picked it up for $15 and it sold for $85 including shipping, which made me really happy, and it sold pretty quickly. So anytime I see these kinds of unique Patagonia, even vintage style fly fishing or camping or anything that's very niche specific, I will pick it up. So definitely a quick flip and a fun find for me. I had mentioned this men's vintage ski suit a while ago. I'm actually kind of bummed out. I thought it would sell for at least over $100. I think what happened was it had been sitting, and I kind of just took a lower offer just to get sales going for the day, and I paid 20 bucks for it. So this wasn't like the biggest win ever, but I still made a decent profit and I'm happy with it. But yeah, like sometimes even I like estimate that a really cool vintage ski suit will go for over $100 and it goes for $65 plus 10 shipping. So $75, not bad. But yeah, I'm still happy that it got sold. And again, like I really like to keep things moving. I like to keep my store alive and keep things fresh, and you know, to wait even longer, another month or two for this to sell for a little bit more, just maybe wasn't as worth it for me. So another thing I want to mention really quick is the reason I think I had such huge sales is because I ran a sale in my store. I didn't actually list a whole bunch in early October, but I did run a sale on my entire store that suddenly got a lot more traffic in and more offers into my store. Actually, when I run sales, I keep best offer on. And that just brings in a ton of fresh offers, a lot of activity, pushes my items to the top of the algorithm. So I really like doing that. I think sales, running sales is probably one of the most powerful things you can do for your eBay store. So especially if you run limited sales frequently and not just big sales that last a month or more. I think it's better to run like a 30% off sale for a week or a few days let it refresh, and then do it again the next week, because what happens is the buyer has like a sense of urgency because they see that the sale will be ending, and it's just a tactic that I think all online retailers use, and it does work. So I would recommend doing that. If you've seen like kind of a dip in sales, run a promotion, run a sale, a markdown, and don't be afraid to mark down your stuff by 30 or 40%. You'll start to see just tons of stuff move along. It brings a lot of traffic, and I think it's the most powerful tool you can use, or one of them, in your eBay store. So just wanted to throw that tidbit in. This Ted Baker sweater I picked up for just $5. It sold for $32 plus $6 shipping. It was really pretty. I love picking up Ted Baker. Anything peplum is really in right now. I think I even showed this to you guys in one of my haul videos. So if it was one of you who bought it, thank you so much, and I hope you love it. And if you don't, hey, I offer free returns. I am very open to that. I want everyone to be happy with their items. If you're not, totally return it to me. I actually don't have a problem with that, especially with clothing. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a clothing item, it hasn't fit me, and I've needed to return it. Like, online shopping is really hard for me. So I have sympathy for people who buy things and it doesn't fit right. So yeah. I'm happy to accept returns. This Free People like beaded dress was really pretty, and I picked it up at a yard sale for $5, and I was really happy to see it go for $32 plus $5 shipping, about $31.50. And took a little bit to sell, but Free People, the more embellished, the more beaded, the more unique, embroidered, whatever, the more to go for. So keep that in mind. Not all Free People is created equally, especially the more basic and standard items. These are men's Christian Dior pleated trousers, pants. I found these at the Goodwill outlet actually like 6 months ago, so it's been a while, and I couldn't believe I found them. They were in really good condition. Of course I'm going to see Christian Dior and get really excited, but they ended up taking forever to sell. Finally they sold during my sale promotion. Which of course I was happy with, because at the Goodwill outlet you only pay per pound, so I only paid like $1.50 for these pants, and they sold for $31.50 plus $6 shipping. But yeah, like some of these higher end brands, like I get excited when I see them, but at the same time I kind of mentally go, well, they're probably going to take a while to sell. And I'll show you that with another high-end brand that I had that I sold. Like, they're great and they're fun to find, but some of these like higher end, even like Gucci or Prada or whatever, when you price them higher, they just take longer to sell. So I don't want to say I prefer, but I really like selling just J. Crew, Free People, the standard stuff, because it moves faster for a lower price and the turnover's higher. So I don't know, just food for thought. This is a Nike full zip jacket, and anything quilted and lightweight always does well. You can find the Nike style number on the interior tag, like the interior inside lower tag, and Google that. And that's the only reason that I knew this was called the Ultimatum Hybrid Prima Loft Jacket. I would never have known that otherwise. So when you find an interior tag, look up the style numbers, Nike, J. Crew, Banana Republic, and you can generally find the full title name of the item. And it sold for $40 plus $10 shipping. These Fry men's lace-up boots sold for $65 plus $10 shipping. They were only $3 at a yard sale I got a few months ago, so really, really happy to find these and to sell them. I actually picked up 2 pairs of men's Fry boots. One sold for $95 a while ago, and these sold for $65, so I'm always happy to sell men's Fry. Women's Fry actually has been taking a little bit longer for me to sell in my store, so I don't know why that is, but hey, if I find men's Fry or men's boots like this, especially now that it's winter, it is perfect for the season and it sells pretty quickly. This Anthropologie jacket retails for $299. I found this at a yard sale for I think $10 or $15. And I thought I could sell it for over $100, but I got this decent offer of $78 plus $6 shipping, so I was fine with that and I accepted it. I still made a really good profit. Again, it's one of those times where, yeah, you want to hold out, but it's probably more worth it just to see the item go, get the profit, keep it moving. You know, that's my motto. And again, during these 2 weeks, I was running sales. I was trying to liquidate stuff, not liquidate, but move. I was trying to move stuff along in my store, and that means kind of accepting offers that might be lower than what you had initially wanted. However, this men's North Face jacket sold for full asking price. This wasn't on sale. It sold for $125 plus $10 shipping. I love finding these because they are super sought after. They're very lightweight. These quilted, like it weighed less than a pound. Like it's very, very light. There's goose down feathers inside, and yeah, I was excited when I saw this. The Savers near me was selling this for $12, and I remember getting really annoyed because at that sourcing trip, I paid up for so many things, and I was really bugged at the end because I'm like, oh my gosh, Savers prices have gotten out of control. But this is the time it was definitely worth it to pay $12 for this and turn it into $135. So yes, these 7 for All Mankind Dark Stitch Dojos, 7 for All Mankind I will only pick up if it's dojo or men's. I really don't pick it up otherwise. The dojos still sell well for me. These sold for $45 plus $6 shipping. These actually sold once and were returned, and then they sold again for full asking price. So it was no problem. I was happy to take the return and then have them sell again. So it all worked out. And I only paid, I think, $4 or $5 for these. This is that J. Crew fringy top that I actually used in my video where I showed you how I list from A to Z, and I will link to it here. And it sold for full asking price. So I don't know if it was someone who watched that video and wanted to buy it. If it was, thank you so much. But it sold for $30 plus $6 shipping, and I picked it up for $5. So definitely a win there. Again, it's a J. Crew. It's unique, it's different, it's cute, it's woven. That's why I picked it up. This Lily Pulitzer dress, I got for $1 at a thrift store sale, and it sold for $25 plus $5 shipping overnight. So it sold really, really fast. It had this cute pink tassel fringe bottom, and yeah, I was really happy to see it go. I'm always happy to sell things for 20, 25 bucks because usually I get it for just $1 or $2, and these are the kinds of items that just keep moving in my store and keep selling and keep my store alive and active. So I will sell $20 things all day long. This is another grill. This is probably getting really old for you guys who have been watching me for a while because I got a huge liquidation of car parts a long time ago, and they're still selling. I paid $6 per part, and this sold for $80 plus $5 shipping. So I will just get these sales every few days, and I absolutely love it because I got it a while ago. I listed it once, and now I just let them sell. They all weigh less than 2 pounds usually. So I pull it out of my garage. They're very lightweight, slap the label on and ship them off, and we're done. So when you see the $5 shipping price, I probably should have it be a little bit more, but that's actually not far off from how much I usually pay for shipping for these. This Anthropologie Moulinette Soares cold shoulder dress sold for $45 plus $5 shipping. It sold pretty quickly, and I did pick this up at that yard sale I went to in September where she had all the J. Crew. She also had Anthropologie and some other higher end stuff. So I was happy to see this go. It was really pretty. It's silk. Moulinette Soares is one of the, and I'm probably butchering that, sorry if I'm ruining that name. It's one of the brands of Anthropologie that I generally always pick up. Sometimes Anthropologie can be hit or miss, but this brand in particular tends to do pretty well for me, so maybe keep that in mind for you. This is a fun find. This is the Johnny Was for Love and Liberty kind of burnout velvet dress. So pretty. It was brand new with tags, and it sold for $90 plus $5 shipping. And what you might not know, and this was just hanging on a rack at a thrift store for $5. Sometimes they miss things. For Love and Liberty is a brand under the Johnny Was umbrella, and Johnny Was is extremely popular, extremely high-end. And so if you know that and you're aware of that, you can pick this up knowing it's Johnny Was, and it'll go for a lot. So definitely a tip for you guys. Something that I learned like a summer ago. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what's For Love and Liberty? I looked it up, and it's a Johnny Was brand. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. It goes quickly and it goes for a lot of money. This Sundance suede vest actually took a little while to sell, but it sold for $38 plus $6 shipping. Sundance leather, suede, shearling, anything like that tends to go for a lot of money. I mean, this was a very thin suede. I don't know, like the jackets will probably do better, but yeah, keep that in mind. They're shearlings, leather, those go for a lot of money, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Lululemon is always a win. I picked up this long sleeve. It's like a long sleeve, almost looks cable knit, runs swiftly, pure white. Sold for $38 plus $5 shipping. And I did not know the size, so I just put a question mark after the size, and someone bought it anyway. Because I do include measurements in every single one of my listings in the photos. So when I don't quite know a size, but I'm guessing, I will put a question mark after the size, and I will let the customer just do the math with the measurements that they see and see if it fits. And again, I take returns, so not a big deal if they have to return it later. Okay, so this is the example of when I was talking about higher end brands that take a while to sell. This is a Dolce & Gabbana men's like silk blend v-neck sweater. Took forever to sell. And it sold for $45 plus $6 shipping, which is great. But it just took a really long time, like that Christian Dior. Sometimes these higher end brands just take longer to sell. So I don't necessarily get super excited when I see a high-end brand like this, like a designer brand, because I don't know, my bread and butter stuff moves really well, and like I can just rely on it selling pretty quickly. So I take any of these high-end stuff, especially when it's a very basic top like this, with a grain of salt. That's something that I've learned just over the last 4 years. These Hunter rain boots I picked up at a yard sale. I did pick them up for $10. They were, they had a lot of white, like, residue on the rubber that happens sometimes with just any kind of rubber boot. And I just can use Goo Gone. You can use any kind of Goo Gone or even olive oil to just rub that off, and it looks great again. So something to keep in mind. And these sold for $50 plus $10 shipping. When I have something awkward like this and I don't have a box that fits it, I'll often like fold it so that they're like a large rectangle, and I will use 2 large Tyvek bags, sort of like these here, and I will just double wrap it, tape it up, and make sure I cushion it well, and that does fine for me. So don't stress if you don't have a box. I most often just use those Tyvek bags, and it works out just fine. And then this J. Crew tweed dress, again at that yard sale at the J. Crew. I picked it up for $5 and it sold for $45 plus $5 shipping, which made me really happy. So I absolutely love selling J. Crew, especially dresses like this or unique items, J. Crew collection, stuff like that. As you guys know, it's no secret, J. Crew. A lot of my store is J. Crew, a lot of the stuff I sell is J. Crew, and I absolutely love selling it. This is also at that sale. This is the Bowden houndstooth dress. I either talked about this on my Instagram or I talked about it here on YouTube, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself. But I did pick this up for $5 at that yard sale. It was really unique and cute. Bowden is a brand I'm just like, I don't often pick up because it'll either sit forever, it won't sell. But this was extremely unique, and comps specifically for this dress looked really good. So I did pick it up and it paid off. It sold pretty quickly for $50 plus $7 shipping. Okay, you guys, that about does it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you so much. You guys have supported me, been so kind, left comments, reached out. I just feel so much love and support from you guys on this channel. I can't believe you watch. I can't believe anyone other than my husband watches. You guys have just given me so much, and I'm just incredibly grateful for all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just cannot thank you enough. Drop any comments, questions below. I will respond to them as best I can. And I'm back in my rhythm with YouTube, so expect new videos dropping once or twice every single week. We have Q4 now, so it's a really big time for Amazon. eBay might be slowing down a little bit as I focus on Amazon content for you guys. But either way, I really hope to be able to share just my story, the way I sell things part-time while I raise my kids, and I just am grateful that you guys tag along for the journey, so thank you again. All right, guys, as always, take care, and I will catch you next time.